Good morning, everyone. My name's Eltimar, and we're going to be continuing our Let's Play of Wrath of the Righteous. Where we left off last time, we were back in this area. We agreed with both sides, so we have to find a way to stop the anomalies, I guess. Hello, I'm giving you my undivided attention, Commander. Aranka is entirely focused on the pages in her hands, and appears to be only half listening to you. Right, we have to do the Portal of Wishes from her, which I don't know where they are. Although that's the other side of Threshold. Okay, we know where that is. We found a Vavakia and some other enemies. You can clearly see them on the initiative order. Well, I don't see them yet. There's one. Two. How did we get surprised? Half of its life is gone. More of its life is gone. It's got lots of life, this random Vavakia. Like thousands of life. I don't think it needs 1,400 life. There we go. There's another one. I know there's a Colossus or something around here. I thought I saw it on the turn order. Although maybe not. Where are the rest of the enemies? The fact that we're still in turn... Actually, you know what? There it is.
May I see your entrails, please?
Anomalies appeared very briefly and then disappeared. Weird. Anyways, let's continue walking.
Carry me.
There's a bag here of an anomaly. The air on the herb is almost vibrating with the haze of anomalous energies. Okay. Someone named Yaw is here. Commander, your worthless slave prostrates himself before you. The demon gives you a swaggering bow. Who are you? I understand your slaves are so great in number that the faces of even those closest to you are not worth remembering. I am Yaws, leader of the Illusionera's Assassins Guild, and your faithful servant. Glory be to Eltimar. What you doing here? I'm hunting down unworthy creatures, eradicating all kinds of aberrations that could attack your forces from behind. Have you noticed the startling increase in their numbers recently? They can look like demons or mortals, but there's something abnormal in all of them. I made a habit of tracking them down and killing them, for the good of your mission, of course. How can you be of use to me? I'm planning to kill someone for you, my lord. Someone dangerous. Someone who wants you dead. Who? Shamira, the Ardent Dream, has abandoned Illusionera and the Abyss. She's come to Galarian. Now that beast is roaming the mortal plane, killing all in her path, and she's coming for your head. I plan to help you get rid of her, but I need advice on how best to deal with her. Why do you need my advice? Perhaps I'm slightly anxious about the confrontation ahead. Shamira was exceptionally powerful before, and now her might is even greater. Yaws falters for a moment. What compelled Shamira to leave her cozy nest in the Abyss and come to the material plane? She was sick of being Nocticula's right hand. Since the Lady in Shadow isn't planning to invade Galarian, Shamira decided she would lead the incursion herself. Shamira can wait. Right you are, Commander, but I don't think she'll wait long. I have some advice. Let's look closer at Yaws. You see right through the lying scum. He's planning to betray you and switch his allegiance to Shamira at the first opportunity. I know you're planning something. Don't be ridiculous, Commander. Yaws laughs nervously, but you notice the spark of fear in his eyes. It'll be a tough fight. Forget about resting. You need to train and hone your skills. You are so wise, Commander. I'll be sure to follow your advice. Now, if you allow your servant to take his leave of you, I must prepare for battle. So Shamira is going to be doing some sort of, like, illusion of Shamira's going to do something. It's not going to be the real one, obviously. Let's go up here. There's more to explore. Maybe. It's actually kind of hard to figure out where we're supposed to go. Oh, we found some stuff. Just watching our... There's a Sierra go out. From the fire one, I guess? It does do some damage to us, but I don't really care too much. Let's get out of the fire. We'll heal up. Also, we have, like, lots of hit points. Oh. Mephistopheles is here. We didn't encounter him in our game. Because I think it's the devil path you have to take? Something like that. Greetings, Commander. The tall devil smiles archly at you. His two identical copies flanking him on either side nod politely. Have you given any more thought to striking a deal with your old friend Mephistopheles? Who are you? All three of the devil's copies look at you in astonishment. How easily this mortal creature has forgotten who it was who opened the gates of hell to him. I'm Mephistopheles, ruler of Cana, archdevil of hell, and I dare to hope your faithful ally. I humbly note that without my invaluable help, you never would have managed to secure such an advantageous contract with hell and sink so low. It is thanks to the harshness and ruthlessness I have instilled in you that your forces are now but a step from victory. What do you remember about me? I remember you as a promising, merciless judge whose name struck fear and awe into the hearts of all. A fine start to a career, and one more befitting a devil than an Aeon at that. Nonsense, I remember it all quite differently. I remember you surrounded yourself with useless buffoons who clamored for your attention and brought you no benefit, but when circumstances required you to make a serious sacrifice and choose, you jettisoned that ballast. First you were a corrupted Azada, and then you became an exceptional devil. Welcome to the camp then. Thank you for your hospitality. I have no plans to abuse it. I intend to leave the camp as soon as you render me a service and free me from this tedious tripartite existence. Why are there three of you? You see, Commander, of late I have sensed strange wrongness within myself. I felt a shift in my very nature. I have been invaded by a touch of the chaotic, whereas I, a devil, ought to embody the principles of evil and lawfulness. My lawful side tells me to destroy myself, for I am a violation of nature. My evil side tells me to selfishly safeguard my own life and do myself no harm. Therefore, I intend to offer myself up for judgment, except who could pass judgment on me, an archdevil? Only Lord Asmodeus himself, or myself. That is why I have split myself into three parts: judge, prosecution, and defense. But if I alone participate in this trial, then it would be no trial but a farce. So I'm asking you to join in as the lone juror. And what will happen if you find yourself guilty? It will all depend on the sentence, but I presume in that case the devil Mephistopheles will be unmade and wiped out of existence. I will participate in your trial. In that case, let us begin. The defendant, the devil Mephistopheles, stands accused of being a living violation of the cosmic order. His fundamental nature has been corrupted by the influence of chaos. The prosecution believes that the defendant's nature is lawful first and foremost, and evil only to a lesser degree. Therefore, the prosecution demands that he be found guilty and sentenced to complete an irreversible unmaking. In this hearing, the defense intends to show that it is the evil side of the defendant's nature which prevails over the lawful side. The defense hopes that the court will take into account the egotism of the defendant's soul and overlook any incriminating evidence and acquit. The court will examine the defendant's past, present, and future. The commander, who has so generously agreed to take part in the trial, will play the role of the jury. His opinion and assessment will be taken into account by the court, however the verdict will remain mine to deliver. On that note, where shall we begin? Let's take a look at the defendant's past. The defense unfurls a long scroll. In the past, the defendant has concluded many unequal and detrimental contracts and deals with mortal beings, condemning their souls for eternal slavery in hell. To wit, the defendant acquired the soul of the farmer Latko, no last name, in exchange for providing 3 days of rain over his field in southern Varissia. The defendant acquired the soul of King Lefer VI in return for providing the trained army for conflict with rebel barons. The defendant acquired lists of nobles, peasants, knights, criminals, dark sorcerers, fishermen, and dignitaries blurs into an unending tale of avarice, desperation, souls bought and sold, crimes committed, and eternal torment in hell. Listen in silence. The seemingly endless list of mortals deceived by the defendant ends with the triumphant words, and of course the defendant acquired the soul of a naive 16-year-old Saley Hemps in exchange for resurrecting her pet hamster. A gullible young woman trapped in eternal servitude for a hamster. As the court can see, the commission of such a nefarious act constitutes the defendant's main occupation, from which we conclude his nature is first and foremost evil. Thus, taking into account his evil nature, we ask the court to allow the defendant to go free. However, Saley Hemp's hamster was resurrected in accordance with the agreement. What is more, it was granted the maximum lifespan for a member of that species of rodent. The prosecution sees the defendant's actions as evil, yes, but they also display an undeniable propensity for upholding not only the letter, but also the spirit of the contract. This is evidence of the defendant's lawful nature. Thus, as a lawful creature, the defendant must be found guilty. His existence, which contravenes the laws of nature, must be immediately terminated. Has the accused ever broken the terms of a contract? Never. The defendant has an unholy reverence for the law and the inviolability of contracts, and he's well aware of the severe punishment that awaits those who commit such infractions. Has the accused ever helped anyone for no remuneration or on terms that were not advantageous for him? Not a soul. Whether it belonged to him or not, or whether belonging to him or not, could the accused... I'm going to reread that because I just did not. Not a soul, whether belonging to him or not, could accuse the defendant of such a thing. Such behavior would do considerable damage to his evil reputation. There we go. By upholding his contracts, the defendant was merely ensuring his own safety. Entirely correct. We cannot conclude that an individual is sincerely lawful when there's an overseer with an axe breathing down their neck. It's highly likely that under less constrained circumstances, the defendant would have flooded the law and become a true swindler. The court has heard the juror's position and finds itself in general agreement. Discussion of the defendant's past deeds is hereby ended. How about recent stuff? The accused recently took up the position of advisor to the commander of the Fifth Crusade. The defendant then encouraged the commander to abdicate from his responsibilities and instead accept the authority of hell. The defendant secured a contract to grant the commander the powers of the devil, which he did in full without deception. The prosecution asked the court to view this evidence of the defendant's lawful nature and to sentence him to destruction as the law dictates. Securing this contract with the commander significantly raised the defendant's standing in the hierarchy of hell. Indeed, the fact that the defendant insinuated himself into the commander's trust under a false name and identity and opted for a strategy that was based on deceit marks this act out as evil rather than entirely lawful. As an evil creature, the defendant must be acquitted and released. The juror is now called to give his testimony. Do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth? I swear. What do you have to say in regards to the charge of... The judge checks the scroll. Your spiritual temptation and corruption by the defendant with the aim of leading you onto the path of hell. It didn't happen. Objection. The witness's words ring hollow. Objection sustained. The witness should know that the court records show clearly that the defendant took an active role in tempting the commander to join the forces of hell. The result of these efforts was the commander signing a contract that made him part of hell's hierarchy. I ask the witness to bear these facts in mind in his further testimony, even if he does not recall these events or doubts their veracity. I have no doubt that the defendant's sole concern was ensuring his own benefit. Perfectly correct. The defendant's corruption of the commander was based on self-serving motives and nothing more. In case you're wondering, he has no interest whatsoever in the Crusader cause. The court understands the witness's view, moreover, the court considers it entirely sensible. How about the future? While the defendant's nature has been subjected to chaotic changes, the defendant remains part of the devil hierarchy. Thus, the prosecution argues that he will continue to work lawfully towards its advancement, fearing brutal execution if he does not. This means that lawfulness prevails over evil within the defendant, so he should cease his unnatural existence in accordance with the law. The defense vehemently rejects this argument. Every hierarchy has its renegades from time to time, and the defendant's selfish nature will inevitably lead him to desert hell. Given this, the defense considers evil to be the dominant aspect of the defendant's nature, and therefore insists on a full acquittal. If even now the defendant is looking for a way to escape punishment for his abnormality, then in the future he would surely not hesitate to break the law. Indeed, the defendant is seriously considering absconding from this trial. The court agrees with the juror. The defendant's prospective actions are as clear as day. Now that the court has considered all the circumstances of the case and taken into account the questions and responses of the juror, it will now issue its verdict. The defendant has been found not guilty on all counts. Well, you have exonerated me in my own eyes. Now I must flee. My kind will not show me the same leniency. Farewell, Commander. If you ever consider betraying hell or any other mighty power, you know to turn to. We got true serenity. I don't know what that is. Let's take a look at whatever that debuff was. You sense the ground beneath your feet is a little shakier than before. The colors around you seem to blur slightly, and the sounds you hear blend and mix together. Your actions have violated the order and stability of this place. We got a shirt. Spell resistance 34 against the enemies of chaotic alignment. So we did one, I guess that's one. Okay, we're going to keep track of this because I think we have to. It's going to be kind of important. So we have chaotic and lawful, I'm guessing. We have done one chaotic thing. I've written it down in a notepad. Oh, there's another keeper here.
Blood! Did you like that?
Is that the only one? This is a terror reality. We can reinforce or tear reality. I'm guessing those are lawful and chaotic choices that we can make.
Backwards! Backwards!
Let's look around for more big actions though first. Like we can easily just do those to maintain a balance if we have to. So we're going to ignore those for the time being anyways. I think we have to go to eyes. Probably. There is still an area exit. There's actually 2 area exits.
Trail me.
We can definitely leave. Okay. But there was a portal we were supposed to go into. It's somewhere around here. I don't know where it would be. Is this a tear or open reality thing? We just found something. We found a potion. Potion of cure critical wounds. Okay. Thought it'd be more interesting than that, honestly. Okay. So we have this portal here, which is a tear or reinforced reality. Okay.
Off with your head!
That thing just died horribly. Leaving all that behind for now. There's another portal here. I think we already cleared out the chaotic creature near it. That leads us back to that clockwork realm, I think. Maybe it's changed, I don't know. Okay, so we have tear and reinforced reality there.
Wherever my legs carry me.
Hillor is here. Maybe we can talk to Hillor. Good to see you, Commander. What sort of help do you have in mind? Help me finish my hunt. Hillor shows you a map with a location marked on it. Here, in the very heart of the wound, lies the lair of the Spinner of Nightmares. I got close enough to see she has a horde of minions there, and there are abyss spawn prowling around the vicinity. As much as I hate to admit it, this is a fight I can't win, but you can. Do this for me. Kill the Spinner of Nightmares in her lair and save my poor Lori. I'll drop by. We've already done this in the other game, but I'm guessing that we have to do it again. Student, you should have come to me the moment I arrived in your camp. It's unwise to test my patience. The dead man dressed in tatters that were once wizard robes glares at you. Angry fire is dancing in his empty eye sockets. I am no longer following the path of mastery over the dead. Is this a joke? Student, I forbid you to even think of straying from your path. I have chosen for you. Too much depends on your perseverance. And I do not mean your silly crusade. It's my freedom that's at stake. Should you fail to follow this path to the end, I will not be released from the vow that binds me. What do you remember about me? A strange question, but I will answer. I remember you as an insufficiently diligent student who asked too many questions, but one not lacking in the talent or courage required to study the mysteries of death. Your willingness to go against the Mendevian traditions to build an army of the dead, harshly punish dissenters, and walk the path to eternal undeath impressed me. What are you doing here? I am saving you from betrayal. The dead face is expressionless, but you sense your interlocutor's dour irritation. Your servants are conspiring to stab you in the back. Who? Your minions, that raving witch Elyanka Camilleri, and that spineless bloodsucker Septimus. They've already seized control of all the undead in your ziggurat and eyes. I will deal with the rebellious undead. Excellent. Deal with them and report back to me. I wish to hear how they died in great detail. I have to go. Okay. There's still so many more people to talk to, like Lariel, and the storyteller's here too, doing something weird. The storyteller is sickly pale, his dry hands shaking as they clutch a ring of some kind. His white lips whisper something you cannot make out. He senses your footsteps only when you walk right up to him, saying with a start, "Who's this?" "Ah, Commander, greetings." "I'm sorry. I did not recognize your footsteps. My mind is in turmoil, it seems." The storyteller's voice drops to a whisper. "I fear it's playing tricks on me." "What's wrong with you?" "I don't know, Commander. I've been stricken with a strange malaise, and I feel myself going mad. Whenever I touch an object, I do not see its story like before, but its many possible versions, as if all that ever came to be has cast many shadows in every direction, and I'm wandering amongst them. It is terrifying. I'm a frail, blind wanderer, and my memory is all I have. I've lived for it, leaned on it. Why? All I am is my memory in a decrepit shell, and now my mind is toying with me, and I'm frightened. I do not know what is true. Who are you, the one who stands before me? Have we truly met before, or am I an old madman, clinging to a passerby's sleeve, pestering them with my ramblings? He hunches helplessly under the weight of his own terror. I fear the moment when my strength of mind will fade completely, and I will become a babbling lunatic who talks to rocks. I want to reach out to my past once more, my real past, not the one from a vision in the world wound. There's a tower that once served as my abode. Will you take me there? I'm afraid I no longer have it in me to make the journey alone. Sure, I'll escort you. Thank you. Shall we depart at once? A strange ripple passes over the landscape, as if everything is but a reflection in a pond where a stone has just landed. You sense a scream that something unnatural is at work here. I guess we're going. We don't really have a choice in the matter. Is there going to be a dragon? Maybe. This is where we fought the dragon. Let's quick save. Well, there is a dragon for sure. How prettily they burn. Oh, damn magic. There are traps all over and spells casting themselves. A strange pair, a wound worm and a crusader in bloodstained armor, is absorbed in burning the scrolls on the shelves, not noticing you. If you could burn any great figure, anyone at all, who would it be? Rune Lord Zutha. He was fat, maybe the fattest there ever was, and I enjoy watching the plump ones pop when the fat inside them comes to a boil. I would burn Caden Caedlin. But before he became a god, they say he had a good joke for every occasion. I wonder what wisecrack he'd come up with atop a bonfire. Do you remember these two? I recognize these spiteful voices. The warrior is the traitorous crusader who tried to burn me in the Blackwing Library. Strange, I thought he died in Canaveras. And the dragon almost devoured me in my tower. I owe my escape to you. How did we end up here? I do not know, Commander. I cast no spells, as if the world itself transported us here the moment you decided to help me. I have never encountered phenomena of this nature before. Hey, you two. Oh, someone I was telling you about. The crusader who killed me. He jabs his finger emphatically in your direction. You're not the only one who brought down Caleb. You too? What a coincidence. So you're the commander everyone's talking about. If I'd known back then you'd rise so high, dying would have been a bit more of an honor. I killed both of you. What are you doing here? Somebody resurrected us. Let's just call him our employer. You met him, by the way. Big mechanical fellow with his heart on the outside. Keeps yammering on about what's right and what's anomalous. Anyways, he brought us back to life, and as payment he demanded that we complete an important mission for him. Important, Devora scoffs. He simply set us to clean up a mess. He said this whole tower is steeped in anomaly, down to the last pebble, and it must be burned along with its contents, without leaving a single page or stone behind. Now the opportunity presented itself. I think we should also incinerate its owner. She shoots the storyteller a menacing look. Clearly, for a creature as powerful as Valmalos, resurrecting these two was an easy feat. I take it you're about to start a fight? I'd love to fight you, but you'll have to wait. This time we're following the orders of your allies, so I guess we're the good guys today, and you'll stay out of our way. We'll turn everything in this place to ash, and you can go about your business. You can leave the elf here if you like, and we'll burn him too, and feed on him. The storyteller straightens up, his pale skin glowing faintly, and his voice acquiring an unusually regal air. He raises his hands, and a shimmer of magic envelops them. Remove your filthy hands from my memories. Whatever they may be, they are mine, and anyone who encroaches upon them I will send to Pharasma as many times as I must. See, the elf is asking for it. Let's say we kill him together. We'll tell Valmalos that you helped us, and like semi-divine entities are wont to do, he'll treat you to some kind of reward, eh? Pick up a piece of paper and study it carefully. Which is probably gonna go okay. Nope. The paper is covered in elaborate magical calculations. You cannot discern their meaning. Our skill checks suck. I won't let you torch this place. Valmalos took precautions against any who might interfere with our task, so he infused us with a great deal of his power. Let me demonstrate just how much. First I'll burn you in my flames, then bite you in half, and then trample you beneath my feet. Overkill? I'm not greedy. You sense the ground beneath your feet is a little shakier than before. The colors around you seem to blur slightly. We have violated the order and stability of this place again. Let's switch to turn-based on this one.
Let the attack commence.
Oh, this is an easy fight. Never mind. Let's just go real time then.
Die! Die!
There. The storyteller's voice reveals a mixture of exhaustion and satisfaction. Those who would set fire to my memories are dead. Are you sure we shouldn't cleanse this place? No. My recollections may tell tales of that which never existed, but that does not diminish their significance. My mind stores memories of empires whose remains are now dust. But have they ever truly existed? Does it matter? Memories are like children. They're all innocent, even if some of them are different from the rest. It's my duty to treasure them all. What are you going to do now? Delve, there's a painful thirst in the storyteller's voice. So many stories of the must or might have been are now laid bare here before me, and I wish to learn them all. He says, his voice takes on an off-putting, cooing tone. Shall we go back to camp? I'll find my own way back, and I'll remain in the tower for now. I'd like to lay my hands on the stonework and remember all the things that were and those that were not. Okay, well. Whoops, I almost did it dumb. We can't loot anything. There's nothing to loot yet. Let's go up here and see. It's possible there's loot up here. There's a chest at the very least. That was another chaos thing, by the way. Let's put that on the list of things we've done. We are 2 chaos, 0 order at the moment, I believe. Oh, there's some loot here on Caleb. He has some good-looking magical gear that we don't know about. We can still go to the lower floors of the tower. I wonder what's down here. This is where those mandragora things were you had to fight for. Oh, there is a calamitous keeper in here. There are many of them. Is there any distorting ones? Kekatar, sorry, not keepers, but whatever. There's definitely a distorting one. Kill that one. Did anyone get polymorphed? That's the question we got to ask ourselves. It doesn't look like anyone got polymorphed. Prismatic Spray can balefully polymorph you, and that is really the only thing we can't deal with. Although we might be able to now that we have a possible healer in Arsino, or whatever. This is different. Maybe it's not. But maybe it is. Can we go through there? We can't go through there.
This way.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit different than the last tower, but we did do it. Okay, let's go back through. I don't think we're allowed to go to that side anymore. There were more rooms last time we came to this tower. Which means the downstairs have changed a little bit. But that's fine. Let's get out of here.
Wherever my legs carry me.
Now furnished with the truth, the Excess looks out across the landscape with fresh eyes. He does not see the distance, since it does not exist in the prison world. He sees possibilities. A place where he can go just by wanting it. Let's go to the Spinner of Nightmares camp. Confounding all expectations, the Excess finds himself not where he planned to go, but somewhere else entirely. The blazing wings of Chimera, the mistress of Lichinera, are well known to the Excess. Is it coincidence that their path crossed? Did the demon track the Excess down? Or was it the Excess's own thoughts of the coming battle with Chimera that drew her here like a shark to blood? I guess we're getting random encountered by Chimera. We should probably do at least one ordery thing. You decided to appear before me yourself, Commander. Wonderful, you have something that belongs to me, your power. So all we can do is fight? Yes, let's fight. Yaz slinks out of the shadows with murder in his eyes, which are trained on you. Sorry, Commander, I've decided to betray you. You catch Yaz's eye and see how afraid he is. It seems your suspicions about his loyalty have planted seeds of uncertainty in his head, and uncertainty leads to weakness. Why'd you betray me? I was afflicted by the same feelings for Chimera. I felt like I was a slave whose fate had been written in advance, and all words rang hollow. I wanted to check if it were true. On your advice, Commander, I prepared for this fight without resting. Let's see if I can surprise you. Yaz's words sound cocky, but he looks less than impressive. It seems his preparations have left him exhausted. I think we can just let this play out without having to turn-based mode this. Just Chimera's left. Even on the brink of death, Yaz shoots you his customary cocky smile. Seems I underestimated you, Commander, but I couldn't help but try. The demon's eyes glaze over. The voice that comes from his throat sounds dry, mechanical. It more closely resembles Valmelos' speech patterns than Yaz's smooth repartee. The demon assassin Yaz fulfills a role that is crucial to the system's functioning, seeking out and eradicating anomalies. In the event of his destruction, the demon assassin Yaz will be restored to with basic memories. The machine's words die away, and Yaz's eyes are brimming with pain as his characteristic audacity once more. I'll let you live, but only because your work is important for this world. An unexpected mercy. I suppose thanks for an order, Commander. I'll go now and try and work off this debt to you. You sense the ground beneath your feet is a bit firmer than before. The colors more contrasting and sounds sharper. Your actions have brought a modicum of stability to this place. We're gonna try and make this nice and balanced between good and chaos, or order and chaos, just because I want to see what it does. I'm curious. There's an anomaly here doing weird things.
Forwards! No, backwards, backwards!
Anything else in this zone? Seems like a big area for just the small encounter with Chimera. But it's looking like that is the only thing. So that was order. Let's put that under lawful, I guess. Now we have 2 chaos, 1 lawful, at least to my recollection. I wonder if it's a debuff that shows us what our current balance is. Doesn't look like it. Okay. Let's go to the Spinner of Nightmares camp. But we're not going to do it in this video. I think we're going to take a break here. In the next video, we'll do Spinner of Nightmares, then go to is/eyes. And then we'll continue to do all the other things we need to do. I don't know how many events there are. Oh, I guess there's several. Maybe we didn't save Earbeth. Maybe that was one of the ones we had to do. Something sonorous, something shiny and deceptive, something light and beautiful. Okay. Chimera, we dealt with her. Devil on Trial, we did that. We haven't dealt with the Spinner yet. We haven't cleansed the Ziggurat yet. And we have helped the Storyteller. So we've done 4 things, I guess, technically, of... I don't know if this one counted, though. I wish we knew how many we've done for each. I guess we'll figure it out later. For now, I'll leave you guys here. Like always, if you have any suggestions or comments, please leave them below. Otherwise, I'll see you next time.